Hello everyone, I just wanted to share a quick run through of the 7 tools that I explored for our assignment, and I'm going to go ahead and start with Column All. So this is a program that is free to use, but it does have a lot of features that are limited unless you're paying subscription. You're in a paying subscription. So you'll see here that I have a balance of 25 messages or contacts that I can make. And after that, I will have to pay if I want to send more. So this is not going to be an ideal program for me, but I did explore it, and it seems like a great program if you're willing to pay. The way it works is you basically create a title for your broadcast. So I had created one here. I'll put it in English so you guys get it. Summer camp. You let it know what type of message you want to broadcast to your audience. I'm going to say text. You can also schedule if you want it to go out immediately or you want it to go out at a certain time. So you can tell it, I want it to go Friday morning. It'll also show this number for the people receiving the messages. So it might be best for you to communicate with that audience that if they get a message or a voicemail from this number, then that is you. Okay. Then there's a couple different options to input your contacts. You can do it manually. You can upload a file like Excel or use a program which holds your contacts. I can't move forward from this step because I'm going to have to input an actual number, and I'm not going to share numbers with an audience on this video. But what happens next is you go to step 3, you type out the message, and then it lets you review and submit, at which point it will either send it out immediately or at the time you scheduled that message to go out, depending on what you set it to do. So pretty convenient to communicate with other people. Now this does not have an option to have back and forth communication. So then I'm going to show you another tool, and this looks like it's more for organizing parents or larger, it seems like it's a teacher parent program. It's called Class Tag, and I'm not going to do the whole login sign up thing because I'm not going to be using this program. I did look into it, and I think it's going to be, it could be very useful to teachers, and I think especially in elementary school. It helps you coordinate parent conferences, volunteer lists, automated newsletters. It just looks like a pretty good way for a teacher to communicate with all their students' parents. It's pretty in-depth. I just don't see myself using this in my program, so I'm not going to be using it. The other one that I think is pretty cool, I speak both English and Spanish, and most of my audience speaks one or the other. So I don't have a lot of use for it, but I think it's cool for folks who have maybe a lot of students whose parents are monolingual Spanish speakers, and perhaps you are monolingual English speaker. This could be a really cool tool. It's called Talking Points Teachers. I think this also has a price, again, so that detours me. I don't want to pay for something I don't have to. But the cool thing about this program is that you can communicate with parents, and the program automatically translates messages back and forth. So if you're setting this to English, whatever you receive is going to come in English for you, and then when you send it out, it's going to translate to the other person's language, and that's how they'll receive it. So I thought that was really cool. I think that it has a lot of value for some folks out there with very diverse student populations. I primarily work with English and Spanish speakers, and since I speak both those languages, it doesn't have a lot of use for me. Next, Wordle. It's a program or not a program, but a website I've heard about in the past. I just never used it. So one of the things you should know is you have to use a browser that supports think it's, what is that called? Not Adobe. Here, give me 1 second. It's got to support Java. That's what it was. So it's got to support Java. So here I'm using Internet Explorer, and I just wrote out a bunch of words, and you put it in the words, and then you go to Go, and it generates an image for you, and you can change the way it presents it, and you can change the colors, schemes. There's a lot of different things you can do with it, and then you can download it. And I think it's just sort of a creative tool that you can use to illustrate either, I don't know, like an image through words or a significant description for a person or something like that. I just thought it was cool. I've heard of it before, but I've never tried it, so I wanted to play around with it. That's how it works. Pretty simple. You can then save the image wherever you like and copy and paste it to some document. The next thing I wanted to share is Bitmoji. It's something I used in apps on my phone through Snapchat, and I can use it in text messages and through communication with my friends and family. But I think another cool use for it is you can get an extension for Bitmoji, and I've been playing more and more with this to make slideshows and presentations more interesting for your students. So here I have an example of a Google Slides presentation I created for my students, and it's very, very easy to click on your extension and look for something that is relevant to what you're presenting. So you can just type in a word and say, you type in, or you click on the Bitmoji you want, and then you, oops, that was not what I wanted. So you copy and you paste the Bitmoji, and then you can just put it wherever you want. So I think that's just a fun way to spruce up your presentations for your students. I know middle school students and early high school students find it pretty amusing and fun. The older, like juniors and seniors, I don't think they find it very amusing. But either way, it's just to engage your students a little bit better. Another thing I found pretty interesting is that there is the QR code generator. And this one lets you put in any URL that you'd like to use. And you type out the URL, and then it generates this QR code. And so students can use a QR reader with their smartphones or tablets, whatever devices that support this technology. They point it to that, and it'll take them directly to that site. So that way you can avoid having to give them a URL and having all the students typing that out. This might be quicker. So that is it for me. I appreciate your listening. I hope that you like the tools that I explored, and maybe they have some value to you. Thank you.